Manuals are an advanced skill and take time to develop, but they can be super helpful on the trail. In order to practice your manuals, you want to just work on flat ground to start. Start with a tall standing position with a slight bend in your knees and your knees over your toes. From here, you're going to shift forward and then rapidly shift rearward, extending both your arms and your legs. This is going to help you create pressure in the front sides of the handlebars without using muscular strength. If your elbows are too bent, you're going to be using your biceps and you're going to get uneven outcomes. Again, we want to just start in a neutral position. We're going to shift forward and then rapidly shift rearward. As the arms and legs extend, the hips will come back over the rear axle. This is allowing us to create a balance point over the back wheel. A couple things we can practice just to be safe while we're doing this is to create brake modulation, or pull ourselves out of the manual using our back brake. So just be sure you keep your index finger on that back brake and practice this a few times. Pull the front wheel up and use the brake to bring the front wheel back down. Once you've done that, you might even practice looping the bike out. To do this, you're simply going to shift the hips back until you flip the bike over backward and land on your feet. If you practice these two things, you'll be able to practice your manual safely. As you get the front wheel up and start to get this consistently, you're going to want to learn to hold your manual. In order to hold your manual, you're going to use your hips as an adjustment mechanism. The hips are going to move back and forth very slightly in order to help you stay on your balance point. The other place we can make an adjustment is at the shoulders. We can kind of shrug our shoulders back and forth to micro-adjust in order to keep our balance point on the rear wheel. Once you've got a little bit of a balanced manual going, you can take this to the trail. On the trail, we're not actually going to come up quite to the balance point every single time, but we're going to use this technique to get our front end over anything on the trail that could cause us harm. This could be a rock, a root, a branch over the trail, or maybe a little ditch on the trail, something that you don't want to jam your front wheel into. The cool thing about manualing on the trail is that anything we'd want a manual for is going to pull us out of the manual. The other way in which we can use the manual is when we're manualing off something. This is generally going to be done on rolling terrain where we have rolling bumps coming down the trail. We might let the front wheel come up off one rolling bump, the back wheel is going to go down into the trough between them, and then the back wheel is going to contact the second bump, pulling the front wheel back down. This is going to allow us to maintain speed on trails where we're not pumping and we want to get the front wheel up out of harm's way. The third reason to manual is to show off for your friends, and everybody wants to be able to do that. So be sure you work hard on this, film yourself along the way, and check for all these really important points. And before you know it, you'll be riding on one wheel.